Our network here is not too complicated, but it's always a good idea to try and stay as organized as possible. So let's do this now before it becomes more complex. So I'm going to name some of the nodes here because they're repeating, and attribute transfer doesn't really tell me what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to call this high. Here we are transferring low. Maybe we can also use, if we select all of the nodes, come up here and generate a network box. We could give it a color as well, something I like to do. Just looks a bit more interesting. Give it a name. Yogurt there. We could, I'm gonna take all of this and make another box. I call this blueberry. Let's give it a blueberry color. And then let's see if I think if I alt click and drag on this, I should get, a copy of everything. So we're going to use this for the chocolates, right? So let's change the color. Let's give it a chocolate color. Connect this up to the chocolate geometry. Connect this up, not to the merge, but to the color. I'm just going to delete that. And in terms of the color, I don't want this to be white. We need to go back to black. Okay, so we're starting, because we're going to be multiplying and deforming the geometry again here, we need to set everything back to 0 there. Okay, and let's see about these values here. We're gonna, let's see, we'll keep these the same, I think. And again, just kind of take a look in here. Oh, did I leave let's change this name. Choc, can't spell. Choc, we'll leave it like that. Choc. And let's jump inside here and take a look at the values that we want for the chocolate pieces. Okay. So what do we have got? Well, maybe we can visualize it as well so we can see what we're doing. Let's merge this with all of the geometry. We'll take the chocolate from there. Oops. In fact, if we just go to before the split, we'll get everything together. Drop another color. Just change it back to white after deforming. There we go, just so we can take a look at what's going on. And let's go forward a few frames. Let's go, it's frame 30. Right, and then focus in on some of these. Let's see, this one. Okay. And let's see what we want to do here. I'm going to leave that as it is. See, let me try playing around here a little bit. Drop that down. The bits of chocolate are a bit smaller, so they'll have a bit less of an effect on the yogurt. Of a smaller mass, so we need to have different values for the chocolate. Let's try and tighten it up. 1, 2, 5. There we go. Pull it in a bit tighter there. Also, maybe the peak. Could have a look at that. See if that needs adjusting. Let's see. Okay, yeah, see, we're getting something pretty weird there, so let's drop that down. Still a bit weird, but it doesn't matter. It's better than nothing. the color here as well. You know, that value will have an effect. If let's go to the end there. Where were we? Here. Okay, put that to 0.5. See, so we're just getting a subtle kind of push down and then a bit of a bump there at the end. And then in this wrangle, again, we can play around with the effect, how much. So bring it down to 0, it's not doing anything. Bring it up slowly. Let's do 0.005 I want. Cool. Let's go forward a few frames to see how the other chocolate pieces interact. You can just see a bit of a, you know, you don't want it to be over the top, just really subtle. Yeah. Okay, let's try another flipbook with that. Back to the start. Oops, move that over. So yeah, let's make it full screen. Back to the start. I'll leave the mesh on so we can see what's going on, and I'm going to go in a flipbook with new settings. Start. There we go, all done now with the flipbook. Let's take a look. Cool. So yeah, the chocolate's working as well, getting a bit of deformation around it, a bit of a bump around and getting dipped down. The blueberries are doing their thing. Looking good.